Let's turn around in the Islamic style.
All right.
Begin from right to left. Huh?
Okay.
Okay.
Jesus Christ and Hazrat Masih Maud ﷺ resemble each other almost in everything, but there is a particular prophecy of the Holy Prophet ﷺ that the promised Messiah will marry and have children. Does it indicate that Jesus Christ also married and had children? The second part of this question, if a man has a partner...
Shall we wait for the first part to be answered, then we'll turn to the next. Okay. Hazrat Masih Maud ﷺ or the promised Messiah, whoever it is, does not resemble, according to the prophecies of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, exactly the old Messiah. So first of all, you should remove this misunderstanding. He is never mentioned to be crucified or attempted to be crucified. The next Messiah, you read all his account in the Hadith, and you will not find a single place where he predicts him to be finally crucified or attempted to be crucified. Right? He is nowhere mentioned that he would be born without a father this time. Right? Perhaps people may say because he is the same old Jesus who would return, so the question of birth would not arise. I understand that. But that is not all the dissimilarities. The old Jesus, according to the prophecies, performed miracles of such nature as the new Jesus who is appearing is not mentioned to perform any of those miracles again. Not a single one. Read all the miracles of Jesus mentioned in the Holy Quran and read the account of Jesus in the traditions. There is no similarity whatsoever in the performance of miracles between the old Jesus and the new Jesus who is to come. Again, the character is completely transformed. You read of old Jesus, he was so soft-hearted, so forgiving, so humble, not only humble but also so soft in his attitude that he would advise his followers to turn the other cheek if somebody strikes at one. Correct? But the Jesus you read about in the traditions is a prodigious Jesus. It has nothing in common whatsoever with the old Jesus. He walks sword in hand. He breathes fire like a dragon. The breath of old Jesus revived people. The breath of this Jesus who is to appear, it will strike people down and burn them to death. So where are those similarities which you have in mind? This Jesus would walk single-handed, walk to conquer the most powerful enemy of humanity, that is Antichrist, single-handed, without an army to support him, with just a sword held in his hand. And he'll walk all the way to wherever Antichrist is to be chased, without a mount. But Antichrist would be mounted on a prodigious donkey, which would run so fast, which would fly, which would swim, and this and that. So tell me, where are the similarities that you have in mind? The whole image which is presented by the Hadith is of a completely different nature. No similarities with the old Jesus Christ. So it is a dissimilarity which is mentioned, not a similarity. This prophecy about his marrying means that the old one did not marry, but this one will. Right? Next question, please.
If a man has a...
But when you come to real similarities, then before you attempt to do that, you must decipher the prophecies of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam and make them understandable first. Then suddenly the similarities begin to appear to you.
نجد أنه سينزل وتكون معه.
Not Masih al-Muhammadi. Well, they said that according to the ulama's understanding of the traditions, that Masih will descend from the heaven. He will become Masih Muhammadi afterwards. The hadiths are talking of him as if he is the same old person returning to earth. But the same old person has undergone such changes as he is no longer the same person in any way. It's impossible to believe that he is the same old Jesus. None of his miracles are mentioned that he would perform them again. He seems to have lost all the power of performing miracles there. His personality changes from that of a meek person to a very hostile, ferocious man. The old Jesus is, according to the Quran, revived people from death. And he would strike them down with his breath, which would be like the breath of a dragon, imaginary dragon, which throws flames instead of breath. And the flames of Jesus' breath are mentioned in hadith to go so far that they could even burn to death an enemy miles apart from him, long distances. You see the enemy and breathe fire upon him. Is he the same Jesus? Has this image of Jesus any similarity with the image of Jesus which we read about in the Holy Quran? That was what I was trying to say. Okay. Please.
يقول حضرتك.
So it's the difference, not the similarity which Muhammad is mentioning. Have you ever read that the old Jesus used to chase the swine to kill them, to murder them? Did he ever chase any swine to murder the swines? The only incident we read about is of a swine, of a flock of swines which was haunted by evil spirits. Or was it sheep? Swines. And he had them drowned, all of them, so that the evil spirit could also drown. Apart from that incident, where again he did not behead any swine by his own hands, there is no mention of his chasing the wild boars, etc., to wipe them out of the face of earth. So that is the point I am raising. The hadith, if you go by hadith, is not recounting the similarities between the old Jesus and him when he returns. Right?